ever lost your mind? Have you ever lost your mind? Have you ever lost your mind?
Welcome to the Red Devil Talk. Yeah, man. I guess I'm the last man to announce this, but our boy Solskjaer has been sacked. He's finally been sacked, and it took this board millions and millions of years to make such an obvious decision. So I'm a little bit underwhelmed. At the end of the day, Fletcher, Carrick, and McKenna are still here. So when they say if you want to get rid of a problem, you get rid of the entire problem. You don't just get rid of half of it and expect the problem to be eradicated. You need to get rid of the entire problem. Solskjaer was just part of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? He was just only part of the puzzle. We still have McKenna there. We still have Carrick there. So for me, until McKenna and Carrick are no longer part of the coaching staff, that's the only time I can truly say that, yes, now we're going in a different direction. And yeah, man, if you just joined in, Solskjaer sacked you, well, we know that it's public news. I actually posted this around 2 a.m. in the morning that he was sacked. And the official announcement was only announced basically like around 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I'm not sure, but that's the official statement that came out that you are sacked. But then obviously I've got my sources. So, that meeting that was held, that emergency meeting that was held after the Watford drubbing by the board was to discuss him being sacked and how they're going to do it. The problem I have with this board, you cannot even rejoice. You cannot even rejoice about this because, yes, the manager is gone, but he wasn't even doing the coaching. So you still practically have the same coaches as we had with him there. So that in essence, we never really we only got rid of the tail of the snake. We still have the head of the snake there. We still have the rest of the body of the snake there, besides the tail of the snake. So it's not, in essence, we're not out of the woods yet. In essence, we're not out of the wood yet, and it's the same problem over and over again. And to even think that this board was not going to sack him, even if he got a draw against Watford, it tells me everything. I can't be excited. Let me tell you something. The only thing that I'm happy with right now is that Solskjaer has gone, in the sense that we can now go for the Glazers. There's nobody shielding the Glazers right now. There's nobody shielding that. That's the only positive about this. There's nobody shielding the Glazers and the board. They can appoint whoever they want. We don't want any ex-Manchester United players here, because this is what these guys do. They hire these guys and then they hide behind them. We don't want them. You understand? So, yeah, Solskjaer is sacked. I announced this already. If you check my statuses, I already put that out around 2 a.m. before it was actually made news. I put that out around 2 a.m. while everyone was asleep. I knew he was gone. I'm not gonna reveal my source within Old Trafford, but he was the one who told me that, nah, man, he's gone. This dude is gone. So, man, it's all chilled. I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday evening. And yeah, man, the only reason why I came out now is because, man, I had like a bad toothache, and I practically spend most of the day just sleeping and being in bed. And yeah, man, the announcements obviously have been made, and apparently Carrick and McKenna will take over the next few games, and an interim manager will be appointed after that. which is a shambles, man. Like to even think that these guys didn't even have a backup plan. The reason why they kept Solskjaer is because they didn't even have a backup plan. Even now, because they only forced to second because of that result. Apparently, what I heard from my sources is that if he drew against Watford, he was gonna keep his job. You check me, like how the hell do these guys run this club? Like I don't understand it. But fair enough, he's gone now. We can now go for the board. I want these owners out. They are a problem, man. It doesn't matter who comes in. We're still gonna be back here in 2 years' time. It's the same thing over and over again because these bankers run the football side of things. Until these bankers are removed from making footballing decisions within the club, we will still be in the same predicament in the next 2 years. Mark my words. Don't say I didn't say anything because I said this 2 years ago and I said, okay, yeah, okay. Social was a better appointment. Regardless, I'm not gonna put that aside. I've already stated my points in that and said that Solskjaer was a better appointment. I never wanted him to get that job in the first place. And the next manager, imagine if you're the next manager and you're coming into this crap right now. You've got McKenna and Carrick, the same coaches who failed under Mourinho, under Van Gaal. Like, guys, the structure is everything. Solskjaer is only 25% of the problem. He's only 25% of that bloody problem at Manchester United right now. We only got rid of 25%. We still have that other 75%. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Like the next manager, I'll only be satisfied if the next manager is hired as a competent manager, as a manager that they've actually had a plan and they know why they're hiring him. Otherwise, I'm not going along with anything. People are happy. Yes, like it's at the moment it's a little bit of happiness. Like it felt like being stuck in a huge black hole for the past few months. In fact, for me, it has been the most hellish 2 years of my life supporting this club. Some people are lucky, they only realized it late that this guy had to leave. I realized it 2 years ago. So for 2 years I've been suffering. For 2 years I've been suffering watching that rubbish and trying to convince people that he wasn't good enough and these coaching staff weren't good enough. Because if Solskjaer wanted to stay at the club, I had no problem with Solskjaer because I knew he wasn't doing the coaching. But the problem I had with Solskjaer was he kept an inexperienced backroom staff. You don't do that. You're always gonna end up in a bad situation. All of you guys are inexperienced. So how do you expect everything was gonna work out if you have an inexperienced backroom staff and you're inexperienced yourself? You get what I'm saying? Even in work, in terms of like when you go into a job, there's always a manager, there's always someone who supervises, who looks after you guys, who guides you guys to do the job properly. All of us can't be inexperienced because all of us won't be able to like at the end of the day, we'll all do rubbish. We won't be able to execute our jobs properly. It's just logic. So now I don't understand with him keeping McKenna and Carrick by his side. You know what I'm saying? People say, but he got McPhillan. McPhillan is outdated, guys. That's why he was in the Australian League before we got him. He was gone. He failed as a manager in the Premier League. He was sacked, and then he was hired in the Australian League. And somehow we thought that, okay, now he's good enough to come back. No, he was like, this board is just amazing. Now we keeping the same people who were solely responsible besides Solskjaer in the job as coaches for the next upcoming games. We've got Villarreal in the Champions League on Tuesday. We've got Chelsea. You understand? And we still don't have someone in charge who we can trust. Incompetence at the highest level. This board needs to go. I'm telling you now, I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm not going to smile until these guys are out the door. These owners need to leave. These bankers need to leave. It's time we get rid of these people who know nothing about football, owning football clubs, treating them as franchises. Oh, we're just gonna buy a football club, and then we're gonna also try and buy a cricket club just because we can. It needs to come to an end, guys. Like, it needs to come to the end. Now that they don't have a shield, this is why I wanted Social out of the way. No harm feelings, no ill feelings towards him, and everything is done. Yes, in my previous video, I said he's no longer my legend, but it was out of frustration. It was out of frustration of the way the club was running and doing things. But he's still a cult hero, and he's still a legend at this club. I saw him play, so I can never take that away from him. Personally, I can never take that away from him. So the problem I have now is these guys upstairs, and we've now got a free run at them. If these fans want to save the future of this club, we need to get rid of the owners. I've said this and I'll say it again. The Glazers and these board members, your Ed Woodwards, your Matt Judge, you know what I'm saying? They need to be out. Ed Woodward is gonna now move from his post as CEO and is gonna be a consultant. You see what I'm saying? Nothing's in essence has changed at this club. These guys are just moved to different positions. The same way we do it with our government, where we move when one minister can't do his job and then he gets heat for it. He gets moved to the next post within the cabinet. He gets reshuffled. That's all. And you think that that's how you solve problems? You get what I'm saying? This is Man United. Man United are moving like politics, man. These owners move like politicians. This is why they need to go. And every fan needs to understand that from now on, no one is protected, no one is safe. But I feel that the problem is that the fan groups within the club that are very closest to the club in essence are gonna sell us out. Because the Glazers now apparently are gonna sell shares. They're gonna sell shares to fan. There's gonna be a bit of some fan ownership. So in these shares, the fans are gonna have a little bit of a say, but not much of a say, if you know what I mean. And so that's the reason why they were not there in the protests. This is why when we wanted to protest St. Glazers out, they were not there, because this is what's on the agenda. This is what's on the agenda. And funny enough, I knew that this was the case. And funny enough, in about 2 hours after the failed protest, these news came out that the fan share distribution has been is about to be passed on to the fans. Guys, the problems are deep. This is a political thing that's happening at Man United. It's deep. And people laugh about it because they don't support Manchester United. But this is what's ruining football. In essence, it's going to end up ruining football for everyone. Because these guys don't just move like this. They're trying to change how the World Cup is going to be played. They're trying to make the World Cup twice. World Cup's going to be played every 2 years. That's what they're going for. So this 4 years is going to be, because they want to make money. It's all about money. It's nothing. Now we're being hypocrites saying we don't want the Super League, because UEFA and FIFA are exactly the same. They're no different from these guys at the end of the day. All of them are all about making money. That's all they care about. They don't care about players. They don't care about the welfare of anyone. Everyone is going to be put under strain. Athletes are going to be, you understand, by the time they retire, they won't even be able to walk anymore, because it's not feasible the way that they're being overworked. These players play way too many games. The entertainment factor eventually will go down as a result. There's no other way, because our bodies can only take so much. So that's why I'm saying that people will laugh and say, oh, it's a Man United problem. No, it's a world pandemic. It's a world pandemic, guys. And it's bad, man. I'm actually afraid for the future of the sport, because I feel like it's on its way down as it is, and it's gonna eventually die and fizzle completely. You check. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. So I'm not one for for optimism until I see something that's concrete. If these guys, I know these owners are bad, but like I said, we can win something. Like I told Nuruddin, like I told Saeed, like I told Terry on the football terrace, that this season can be salvageable. We can win things under this regime. But until fans come together, you will never get the real Man United back. So in essence, people, if you're not willing to fight, we need to learn to accept that this is our new reality as a fan base. This is our new reality, and we cannot be sitting here and say we're expecting long-term projects and whatnot. There's nothing like that. Football has changed, has evolved. We need to be trying to win for a period of 2 to 3 years and then go back and start all over again and try and do that in the next couple of years. That's the only way we can adapt under this regime, because yes, we can win under this regime. I'm not having that. I'm not having fans coming up here and say, oh no, we can't win. There's no manager who can win under this regime. This is the reason why we kept Solskjaer for so long, because fans actually believe that we can't win under this regime. You understand me? So I'm not having that. This season we can save it. Top 4 is priority now. The league is gone. Let's be realistic. It's gone. And I said it's been gone for the past few weeks, because I knew this body was not going to make competent decisions as early as possible. They were only forced. Their hand was only forced now because there was mutiny. Even the away fans booed the manager. Once the away fans booed the manager, these are the fans that were singing Ole Sacked the whale when we were getting beaten 5-0 by Liverpool at Old Trafford. These were the same fans who were singing Ole Sacked the whale when Man City was toying with us for 90 minutes and beating us at Old Trafford as well. They were still singing Ole Sacked the whale. But then 4-1 against Watford, they were like, nah, screw this. We're supporting the team, but we cannot continue to support it blindly. This guy needs to go, and we're allowing this crap to happen. Their consciousness and their guilt kicked in. And they were like, you know what? No. We need to get rid of the manager. But now, because they knew that top 4 is getting away, that's why they had to make a decision, because shareholders are going to be expecting dividends. Shareholders were going to be expecting dividends. So these guys had to act. They had to act, because at the end of the day, if the shareholders are unhappy, it's on them. You check me. So that's the only way. This club, guys, this club is a business. It's not a football club anymore. I've said it in my previous video. We're a bloody franchise. We're a corporate business. We're not a football club. Some things have to change, and it starts with the fans. Like I say, it's all in our hands. If we want this to continue, then we have nobody to blame but ourselves. If we don't start protesting and we stop games from happening, it's all on us. There's no one to blame, because to them it shows that we're just happy with whatever that's happening. We're no longer angry as we are. So guys, it is what it is. I just wanted to make that reaction. I know I'm the last one. I'm probably the last one to put out the video, but I'm the first one to put out a updated status on Facebook saying that this guy was sacked. I think it was at 2 a.m. in the morning that he was gone. I'm the first one to do it, but I'm the last one to put out a reaction video. So it is what it is, man. Let's see what the future holds for this club. Fletcher and Carrick for the next few games, I think I can stomach that. And then the interim will be a very, very significant one. If the interim is appointed and both Carrick and McKenna are thrown away, then I'll be a little bit more optimistic than usual. But yeah, guys, otherwise, take care. You guys have one cracking evening, man, and I'll be back soon.
Have you ever lost your mind? Have you ever lost your mind?